All right, hi everybody, we're back. We just did our energy exchange video where we found out the energy we were all struggling with today was that of impatience, and the new energy we could call in its place was gratitude. So we did our mindfulness exercise, doing our inhales and exhales, intentionally thinking about first and foremost releasing that energy of impatience from this physical form, from this physical body. We always like to start out somatically. It's like, how and where is this living, and can I think about using the power of my breath to let it go? And then the new energy, thinking about drawing in the new energy, intentionally saying, I fill my whole being up with the energy of gratitude, and seeing how that makes us feel. Do just with those two things, 2 quick breaths in and out, can we start to feel an immediate shift in our mood and in our vibe and in our frequency. And now, so we've done that, now we're going to look at the root story of this impatience. What is it related to? Where is it coming from? Is it benefiting us at all? And then is there anything blocking us to our gratitude, to just feeling, like we have this gratitude for where we're at, again, right here in the present moment? Because if we're impatient, we're not living right here in the present moment, or we are, and we're like, what I have here in the present moment is not good enough. It's not what I want. And I'm feeling this yearning for something else, this desire for something else. I want time to move faster. I want my goals to arrive faster. And so what can we do for ourselves to just feel gratitude for where we are right here, right now in this present moment, even if it is a bit of a challenge, even if it's boring, even if it isn't, reflective of who and what we think we want to be and where we want to go moving forward. So we're going to look at this right now just by first asking a percentage question. I'm going to first check in on our openness to gratitude. So are we even feeling open to gratitude? Where is our heart? Where are our intentions when it comes to gratitude? What percent are we open to gratitude? We're not open at all to the energy of gratitude right now. And what percent are we blocked to gratitude? Ooh, we're like 70% blocked. So we're going to look at that. We're going to dive in and see what can we do to intentionally open ourselves up to this energy of gratitude, and then clear any blocks to gratitude out of the way. And then we'll look at the root story of, again, this particular kind of impatience that we're feeling, and what is it related to? Is there a shadow side to this? Is there something going on with our ego? Are we just impatient because, we want to be where we want to be because of how we want to be viewed, or the money we want to have, or, the trophies we want out on our mantle? Is it related to that? Is it related to something else? So let's explore that right now that we know we're blocked to gratitude, and we'll look at that in a minute. Let's look though at this impatience piece. Where is this impatience coming from? What is it rooted in? Is this 6E or 5? 6E. So we'll go to my chart. It's called our current psychological disharmony, obstacles to some ways of thinking and feeling and being. So we're blocked to rational, logical, and realistic thinking. And what that tells me is that if we were in our logical, rational, realistic minds, we would be able to have gratitude, because we would see that what we have right here is beautiful and wonderful and a blessing. And it's only our perception of our life that makes us feel impatient and blocked to, to gratitude, versus what we're feeling right now, which is, again, impatient for our life to look or feel different than it does. So what is going on there? How do we get to a place where we can have rational, reasonable, logical thinking? Well, we have to clear an icky energy out of the way. So there's an icky energy here that is keeping us in this energy of illogical thinking. We're not able to have gratitude. The energy of illness, well, this is really interesting. Is this mental, emotional, spiritual, or physical illness? Is this spiritual or physical illness? Spiritual illness. So we're feeling spiritually ill. What's interesting about spiritual illnesses is that they can be viral. They can be viral, they can be fungal, they can be bacterial, and that they spread. right? And so it's not like a thing you see under the microscope, because this is spiritual in nature. This is the unseen. But it is something that can be shared with you from someone or something else. And so my initial hit, my channeling, the message, the story that Spirit is telling me right now is that we have a spiritual illness that was given to us, that was spread to us from somewhere or something else. And so we can say, do you want me to look at the root of this spiritual illness, or do we just want to clear it? So we want to clear it. What do we need to do to clear this illness, clear ourselves from this kind of spiritual virus that we have become victim to? Okay, so we're just going to ask to balance our positive with our negative energies. I ask to have my positive and my negative energies balanced. I can't ask to have positivity all the time. That would be unrealistic. Duality is real. The light and the dark is real. We have to accept that. But I can ask for my eyes to be able to see the positive where the positive does exist. And that includes in the negative. Being able to see the positive inside of the negative allows us to access patience and gratitude. So I open myself up now to seeing the positive in the negative. Say that with me. I open myself up to being able to see the positive in the negative. I open myself up to gratitude in the midst of challenge. Just allow that to kind of settle into your bones. Think about what it would mean to own that and embrace that. Not just say it along with me and kind of roll your eyes in the back of your head, but really say, I want that. I do want that. What you're saying right now, Kate, I want to claim that for me. I want to be the type of person who can see the positive in the negative. Yes, sign me up. Give me the uniform, give me the token, give me the key that gets into that castle, because I want to be able to be somebody who can see the positive inside of the negative. I want to be able to have gratitude and patience for my life, for where I'm at, and for where this whole world is at, where this universe is at, which is a struggle right now because we're living in wacky times and there's a lot of negative to see all around us. And I know a lot of people who are struggling right now to have any gratitude whatsoever. And a lot of people who are struggling to be in the present moment because the present moment is feeling kind of shitty. And I get that. But this is where we intentionally say, I allow myself to see the positive in the negative. What else do we need to do here to clear us out of this energy of impatience? What would benefit us all from seeing or hearing as it relates to this energy of impatience and this lack of gratitude we've been able to have, an inability to see the positive? So our lines of love are mucked up, okay? And I've talked about the lines of love before. In spiritual response technique, we're trained that our lines of love are energetic lines in the back of our shoulder blades, kind of one on each side. There's this line, and those lines can get mucked up, and maybe again it's this sort of viral energy of dark spiritual ickiness, this belief that everything is bad and everything is horrible and suffering is the only option and everything is going to be miserable, so why even try to look on the positive? There's so many of us who have this belief now that has embedded inside of us energetically that what's the point? Everything is bad, everything is dark. I'm going to be a realist and I'm just going to accept that everything is bad and everything is dark. And I understand why people are feeling that way. And it's a lie. Not everything is bad and dark. It's not. That's not how the world works. That is not how life works. That is not how anything works. You know, there really is the positive to every negative charge. There is, you know, the feeling of being full for everything that is empty. There would not be suffering without knowing joy. Suffering cannot exist without its opposite, without its reflection, without its, you know, without its mirror. And so we have to accept and understand that we are here to be able to perceive all of the things. And when you allow yourself to believe that you are capable of perceiving all of the things, some of us believe that we're not capable of seeing the good in anything. And so we don't see the good in anything. Some of us believe that all people are bad because this one time someone betrayed us years ago. Some of us believe that everyone is awful and everyone is terrible because those are the eyes we're seeing things out of, and that's our point of view. I open myself up now to a new point of view. Say that with me. I open myself up now to a new point of view. I am capable of having new eyes. I am capable of having a new understanding of things. I am okay with being wrong. I'm okay with being wrong. That's a big one. Like being okay with being proven wrong, because you have to be okay with being proven wrong if your theory and your belief system this whole time has been that everything is bad and everything is awful and everything is suffering and terrible. You then have to be willing to be wrong in order to accept this new reality, which is actually maybe things aren't so horrible after all. Maybe everything can turn out okay. Maybe there is beauty in all of the pain, and maybe there is something positive inside of all of the negative. Okay, do you want me to keep exploring, yes or no, this impatience? Now, do you want me to look at our openness again to gratitude? Yeah. So we were not open at all. If you remember, we checked. We're 0% open to gratitude, and we were 75% blocked to gratitude. Our openness is like our own willingness, and blocks are these external factors that, you know, I can be 100% open, but if there's big blocks in the way, then it doesn't really matter. If my heart is open, if the conduit into my heart is mucked up, like the pipe going into my heart is mucked up. So when I say blocked, it's like the pipe is clogged, but my heart is open. Well, in this particular case, my heart is closed and the pipe is like 75% blocked. So that's what we're going to look at right now. Do you want me to look at the openness first or the blocks? The blocks. So let's get the blocks out of the way first. Let's clear the pipes so that we can have gratitude flowing into us. So we go to our map of consciousness. This came up yesterday. Again, down here in the red are energies that are low frequency. Up here in the blue are higher frequency energies. So what do you want me to see that's going to help us release ourselves from these blocks? Is this grief or apathy? Apathy. So we're clearing now, all of us, from the energy of apathy, which is sometimes even worse, right? I know for some people it's like, I'd rather be depressed and miserable and angry than what I actually feel, which is apathetic. I feel nothing. I feel numb. We release all of us now from the numbness that we have used as a coping mechanism when we have been unable to deal with the pain of this world. Release all of us from any addictions or attractions to apathy, because at some point, somewhere along the line, we thought that feeling apathetic was, you know, bearable. Not knowing, not understanding, not realizing that it was actually killing us. It was killing our spirit. Apathy is spiritual suicide. It's spiritual death. We want to be able to have a spirit that experiences pain and suffering and joy and beauty and ecstasy and fantasy and giddiness and terror. We need to have a spirit that can experience, you know, all the red and the blue. So we're opening all of us up now to the full spiritual experience. And that's scary. That's scary. How many of you right now are like, I don't know that I want to have a full spiritual experience. Can I just like live in this little like neutral range up here in this like greenish blue? Can I just be like here neutral and safe? No, unfortunately, you don't get to experience enlightenment and bliss, illumination, pure consciousness, perfection, and peace up here in this bright blue if you don't also know, again, what misery, guilt, shame, humiliation, destruction, despair are like. You learn how to experience the one by experiencing the other. It is this beautiful balance that we all get to, operate inside of. And are there other factors that sometimes come into play? Absolutely. Health issues, traumas, all those things. But I'm just saying, as a basic rule, this is, why our spirits are here, is to experience all of these things. And so can you say with me right now, I am not afraid to experience all the things. I'd rather experience all the things than all the apathy. Say that again. I'd rather experience all the things than all the apathy. I am not afraid of joy, and I am not afraid of sorrow. I am not afraid of misery, and I am not afraid to be giddy. Allow that to settle in. And now we're going to ask, now what percent are our pipes closed to gratitude? We're blocked 0%. So we just busted out that 75% block to our gratitude. Now we're going to look at our openness. Now we can ask, did our numbers shift at all? Now what percent are we open to gratitude? We're open 45%, because that work of unblocking us also opened us. So that's great. So now we're going to go back to our charts and say, now what can we do to fully open ourselves up to gratitude? What can we do to fully open up to gratitude? We got to clear some icky energy out of the way. What do we need to clear out of the way? What is creating this lack of openness to our gratitude? Is this escapism, or is this illness? Escapism. We're wanting to escape it. Interesting. And it's interesting too, because we're wanting to escape. On some level, it's like we're wanting to escape the energy of gratitude, because we feel more comfortable now at this point, we feel more comfortable in the apathy and in the misery and in the impatience, right? Because we go back to the beginning of this, we're clearing impatience. That's the energy we originally are coming in here to clear. And I'm not open to gratitude, because there's something I'm trying to escape. And maybe that thing I'm trying to escape is the present moment. And if I'm constantly searching for something else from a space of a lack of gratitude for where I am now, then I don't actually have to live in the moment. What happens if we live in the moment? I mean, what are we trying to escape about this moment? What is it about this moment that we're actually trying to escape? This is interesting. What are we trying to escape about this moment? What is it that we are trying to escape? This is interesting. This came up for me a little while ago in one of these charts. It's like we're trying to escape our own spiritual evolution. Maybe we're feeling more comfortable here in this kind of human form, in the denseness of this human form. And gratitude is actually a very spiritual experience. It's a spiritual state of being. And impatience is a very human state of being. And in our own way, we're trying to escape our own spiritual growth. We're trying to escape our own spiritual evolution. We're trying to escape the lesson. Because there's a lesson in this moment. And I don't want to learn the lesson. I want everything to be easy. I want everything to be good. Right now, I don't want to learn the lesson. But when we're not learning the lesson, we're not having our full spiritual experience. And when we're not having our full spiritual experience, we're in the energy of impatience and lack of gratitude, regret, remorse, all these things that are actually not benefit for our highest good. So releasing all of us now from this desire to escape the lessons we're meant to learn. Opening us all up to curiosity, opening all of us up to wonder and joy and excitement in the learning process. Say this with me right now. I know fully and completely that there is joy in the learning process. Let that out. Soften your shoulders. I know fully and completely that there is joy in the learning process. Ooh, yeah, that's good for me too. That's good for me too. You know, it doesn't have to be scary to learn, to grow. It isn't just pressure. It isn't just challenge. There can be joy in learning. There can be joy in, you know, and having to grow as a spirit through the human experience. We're just going to ask to clear all program replications, reproductions, the rebuilding and mirror images, the looping on the looping on the looping on the looping. Spirit, clear it in all depths and all layers and all directions. For all of us that just get stuck in patterns and traps, you know, the escapism, that's the thing with escapism. Escapism is a loop. You know, it's like, you find yourself back here for one moment, but then you're immediately running again. But then you find yourself right back where you were trying to escape from. So then you try to escape from it again, but surprise, surprise, you find yourself right back to where you were running from, over and over and over again. And the only way to get to a place where you are actually moving forward and not just looping back is to accept where you are right now in this moment, and to learn whatever you need to learn in this moment so you can move forward and get out of the loop. I am not afraid to learn whatever I need to learn in this moment. I'm ready to get out of the loop. Say it again. I am not afraid to learn whatever I need to learn in this moment. I am not afraid to get out of this loop. I am ready to move forward. Hear yourself as you say those words and think about what they mean. I am ready to move forward. Whatever that may mean, I don't have to control what that looks like. I don't have to be afraid of the path ahead. I can walk the path ahead knowing that I am capable of dealing with whatever comes my way. Okay, so now what percent are we open to gratitude? We're like 85%. So what do we got to do to get us the rest of the way open to our gratitude? Got a little archetype chart coming up here. We love our archetypes. I love archetypes. They're so informative for me. They're so helpful. So in this particular case, we are being negatively motivated by self-destruction. So self-destruction has been benefiting us. There's been a benefit to self-destructing. That's what's motivating our actions, is that secretly deep down inside, we don't like ourselves. Deep down inside, we have bought some belief system that said, you're not worthy, you're not good enough to grow, you're not good enough to achieve your goals, you're not good enough to have all the things that you want, you deserve to suffer. Maybe you have old religious beliefs, old religious vows, agreements that you've made at some point in this or another lifetime to sacrifice, to suffer. That suffering was the thing that was going to give you grace. Suffering was the thing that was going to show that you were worthy. If I suffer in this lifetime, I will get more jewels in my crown in heaven. I grew up with that belief system. Oh, if you suffer now, if you sacrifice now, then you'll be rewarded later. And so for many of us, we are in the energy of self-destruction because we have this deep-seated unconscious belief that is operating us. And so anytime beauty, joy, success are presented to us, we secretly sabotage it because we think, I must suffer now in order to have my glory later, in order to prove myself, or again, in order to say, no, I am a horrible, miserable piece of crap, and so I don't deserve those things. So we're releasing all of us now from those lies, from those stories, from those outdated belief systems that are not actually true or serving our higher good here and now. I can believe that I am worthy of having success in this lifetime. And that does not mean that I will not have jewels in my crown later on. That does not mean that I will not have success. That does not mean that I will not get to heaven. I get it. The meek will inherit the earth. I can be meek and successful. I can be meek and happy. You can be all of those things at the same time. You can be the meek that inherits the earth and, have a good, happy, gratitude-filled life now. You don't have to be miserable in your meekness. Say that. I don't have to be miserable in my meekness. I don't have to fight for riches and glory. I don't have to be a billionaire, but I also don't have to be miserable. I can have joy in my poverty. Ooh, how about that? I can have joy in my poverty. I can have joy in my lack. Because I'm not saying here, this whole clearing is not about suddenly waking ourselves up to abundance and the best life ever. No, what this clearing is about having gratitude no matter what you're confronting, no matter what you're having. So don't be the meek that wants to inherit the earth later, but be the meek that is miserable and rude to everybody and doesn't have any gratitude. And there's those of us who are trying to be meek in this lifetime to get to the next lifetime where we will inherit the earth, but we're going to be damn grumpy about it the whole time we're here. And that's pointless. That is not helpful to you or to anyone. You can, again, be the meek that inherits the earth, but be a pleasant, meek person now. Be filled with gratitude for what you do have right now, and have gratitude for what you know you will have later. And that's okay too. Is there anything else you want me to look at? No. So we're going to do 100% of 100% of mop up. What percent are we now open to our gratitude now that we did that? Because we are no longer going to be the miserable meek that wants to inherit the earth. We can be the gratitude filled meek that really enjoys being here, even through the challenges, even through the struggles, even through the lessons. What are our replacement energies today? Our replacement energies are faith, gratitude, oh, surprise, surprise, listening. Ooh, okay, gratitude, listening, and what did I say? Faith. Those are our replacement energies today. Thanks for being here, everybody. I hope that this was helpful for you in some way. If you're intrigued by this work, this is called Spiritual Response Technique, by the way. Don't hesitate to reach out. You can find me at www.thepointedstone.com. You can book your own one-to-one session or purchase a clearing that I will send to you in a recording. All right, everybody, have a great rest of your day, and we will see you next time on another episode of Clearing with Kate.